Welcome to episode 61 of the Family Geekery podcast. I'm Danny.
I'm Amber.
And I'm Chris.
And today we're doing a single issue of Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. So not the one that was released this past year, because there was a new series replaced just before the TV show, but there was the original one back in 2008. So that's the issue that we're going to be talking about today. But before that, anything happened this week, girls?
I've been playing a lot of Legends of Runeterra recently, which is Riot Games' card game. So that's been pretty fun. I've been playing their kind of arcade mode, I guess. It's like versus AI. And also coming up soon, Riot Games is doing a 2v2v2v2 on League of Legends, so that sounds kind of cool. I haven't had the chance to play it on the pre-release thing client yet, but it sounds fun. And they're doing a big event, I think, to celebrate their upcoming new game called Soul Fighter, which is going to be like a arcade type fighting game. So there's a lot going on with Riot Games right now.
So the 2v2v2v2, is that a 4-team MOBA?
It's I from what I've heard, it's kind of similar to TFT, but it's like a series of one-on-one fights, or two-on-two fights. So you fight against teams, and your team has like a HP, and you lose that HP if you lose the fight, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was just trying to envision like a 4-team map MOBA. That'd be pretty
I think
epic.
they do have a special map for it, though.
Cool. How about you, Danny? Anything?
Not much. I've been playing some League. I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, she has.
I haven't heard of that. But that sounds fun. So I'll be looking out for that.
Cool. I picked up one game on the Steam sale, and I haven't loaded it up yet, but I'm going to. And it is Atari 50, which is kind of a pseudo documentary / compilation of Atari games celebrating their 50 years of making video games. But it's supposed to have some really good like interviews and stuff like that, and then recreations of old games, like reimaginings of old games.
Is Atari still around?
Atari, the name is still around. Yes, the company name is still around. It's not the Atari of my childhood, but the name lives on, and they still license stuff. And this is their latest thing they put out.
Cool,
fun.
It got some really good reviews as far as like the documentary style stuff is better than the game stuff, which I'm completely fine with. I'm at the age that I like documentaries more than video games.
Me too.
So I'll check that out. And I've got a Atari controller that I've done a YouTube video on in the past. That's got the joystick, the spinner, and the trackball.
Oh.
And I'm probably going to do a video of my experience of playing the game with that controller to see if all the games that are supposed to use the right controls can use the right controls, because it would drive me crazy if the Atari 50 game has like a Centipede game that's playing with a joystick or with a gamepad. You know, if they expect everything to be played with a gamepad, then
yeah,
I'm just going to flush it down the toilet. Hopefully they put some
thought into
there.
it.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to do a history of Atari episode or something.
It might be like a five episode miniseries. Because we'd have to spin off into Chuck E. Cheese and, you know, all the other side projects that Atari had.
I'm down. Let's do it.
Well, cool. Let's
so you
jump
can't just bring up Chuck E. Cheese and shut up about it.
That's a little don't want to spoil anything. Well, if you've watched 17 documentaries on the history of video games, then
True.
that's just common knowledge. I mean,
my bad. Yeah, I've only watched like maybe a half.
all right, so let's jump into this episode talking about Secret Invasion from 2008, written by Brian Michael Bendis, legend in Marvel Comics, very famous for some of his characters he created, but also famous for writing this style of multi-comic event, crossover event. He was pivotal in writing a lot of the big ones from this era. So this was right up his alley, talking about the secret invasion of, I guess, Skrulls coming to Earth and infiltrating the superhero community. And this was kind of a follow-up to some of the other big events like the Marvel Illuminati, and the Kree Skrull War. And it's a result of, I guess, and I think you see just like one page at the beginning of the issue of, they're talking about the Skrull Empire falling. And I guess their home world, or their capital world, has fallen as a result of this big war that happened previous in the comics. And that's why they decide it's time to launch their secret invasion against Earth. So that's what's leading up to it. And then that's where we open into this book. So overall, before we get into the nitty gritty, what do you guys think of the comic as a whole?
I like this one a lot.
Me too.
Yeah. What'd you like about it?
I thought it was really cool seeing a bunch of characters. And also, every time there was a new character, I'm like, is this one a Skrull? Is it not a Skrull? Like that kind of suspense that's just like inevitable with a shape-shifting species.
Right.
You never know who anyone is. So that was really cool. And just the entire like lead up to the end was great. This is only the first issue of 8. That's crazy.
And the tagline for this whole series was, "Who do you trust?" So that kind of goes right down with what you're saying about not knowing who's who. And another thing about having this many characters in the comic, and especially since this is almost 15 years old for us reading, but it's nice. I like it. Even when someone is a very famous hero, I like it when they put their name, under them in the picture when they introduce them into the series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you need to do that for Captain America, but it was nice that lots of characters, as soon as they show up in the scene, it has their name underneath. And I'm like, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. That is who I thought it was.
Or is it, though?
Because at a certain point, there's only so many colors of spandex, and everybody just starts to look like each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, Danny, what'd you think? How'd you like it?
I really enjoyed it too. I liked all the characters, and I was also trying to guess who's who. It reminded me of after Captain Marvel came out, there was a bunch of like fan theories, like going back to all the prior movies on like, oh, was this actually Nick Fury or was it a Skrull? And
right.
It reminds me of that. So I really liked it.
And having this type of mechanic, if you will, in the storyline, you can rewrite a lot of history if you needed to. Like, think about some pivotal movie in the MCU or something where some pivotal character dies, and then, 10 years later, you can be like, oh, no, that was just a Skrull version of that person.
Yeah.
She's still really alive or something. But yeah, so 8-issue, you mentioned 8-issue miniseries. But this is the exact type of miniseries that would both excite me and drive me crazy as a kid, because you see it on the newsstand and you see it say 8-issue miniseries. You're like, oh, cool. I'll invest in this. I'll invest
Uh-huh.
both my money and my mind into, you know, in ingesting this series for 8 issues. But this particular crossover had 10 issues before it,
What?
spread throughout different comics. So like Amazing Spider-Man number, 472
Oh, yeah.
or something like that. So 10 before it and 30 issues during it.
What?
What?
So basically all of 2008, like
Every single thing was
every
Secret
major comic.
Invasion.
Yep, every major comic. And they would put, I don't know if you've seen it before, but they'd put like on the top of the comic, they'd put Secret Invasion,
Uh-huh.
showing you that this comic that you're about to read is part of the storyline. But,
What? That
so if you've got a story like this, it has, I don't know, what would you say, 20 or 30 characters in this first
right?
issue?
Yeah.
Then all those comics, Avengers, Amazing Spider-Man, Thor, Deadpool, like all those comic series that are ongoing are also supporting this story.
Right. Cuz the comic starts out like kind of halfway in a story. Like there's some Avengers that are arrested or in hiding or whatever. Like where did that come from?
Oh yeah.
Guess we have to read to find out and then we can read this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it makes it hard to follow, but it's definitely a marketing thing. Because I remember, back when I was growing up and reading comics and collecting comics, it wasn't this bad. It wasn't 40 supplemental issues supporting this 8
Uh-huh.
issue thing, but there would be, a handful sprinkled in there, and you'd be like, oh, weird. And so if you look at my, childhood collection, you would see I would have, a complete line of, let's say 40 comics of, Spider-Man, or 40 comics of the Avengers or something. And then
Mhm.
I'd have one issue of Doctor Strange in there, just all by itself, or one issue of, something else that I didn't normally read. And
Just because it like fit in the story, filled
yeah,
in some
yep.
blanks.
Yeah.
And sometimes the end of the comic would even say this continues in, Doctor Strange number 124. It's like, okay, I guess I better buy that one.
Well, that sort of thing happened. I don't know if other TV shows did this, but the CW shows with Flash and Supergirl and Arrow, they would have like a mini, like 3-part episode. And so I'd be watching The Flash because that's the only one I watched. And it would be like the second episode of the miniseries, but I wouldn't know that. And I'm like, what is going on? It's like, oh, watch Supergirl season 2, episode 5, and Arrow season 5, episode 2, and you'll find out. Like,
Yep.
oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah, the Rooster Teeth show Red versus Blue also had that. Like they would have side series like in the off season, I guess. That's part of the reason why I stopped watching the show because I didn't know what order to watch it in. And then everyone on the internet was like, "Oh, you can watch it in whatever order." And I'm like, "What?" That doesn't help.
Red versus Blue, the Halo character series.
Yeah. Yeah.
When were you watching that?
Like middle school.
Oh, okay.
It was good.
I've got like a 5-season DVD series of that I picked up at a flea market many years ago.
It's a good show. Next week, we're talking about Red versus Blue, a Halo TV show, because we're all big Halo fans.
Cool. So we got the invasion starting. We've got some of the smartest minds of the world trying to figure out how we're going to deal with this. You got Tony Stark has assembled the 2 smartest guys that he knows, besides himself, of course. Mr. Fantastic and Hank Pym.
What about Bruce Banner? Isn't he smart?
I don't know at what point in this series is he may be smart, he may be dumb.
Wait, what?
If he's like the Hulk full time.
Oh,
Because there was different Hulks going on in this time frame where it may have been, Gray Hulk, may have been Red Hulk, may have been Green Hulk, and his
okay.
intelligence
Varied based
varies.
on.
So you
All
got
right.
these smart dudes, and he's like, all right, we need to figure out how we're going to deal with this because they're out there and they've got a dead scroll that was apparently infiltrating the Hand, which is Elektra's ninja organization. And so they've got a dead Elektra that was a
But
scroll.
it's a scroll.
So, and he says there's more of them out there. We need to figure out how we can know who's who.
Yeah, because they're completely undetectable. None of the magic or technology or mutant powers can figure out what is a scroll.
Yep. And then we've got a scroll ship coming towards Earth. It was picked up by some space station out in hovering around Earth.
Not some space station. It's Sword.
Oh yeah, Sword. And they're like, there goes a spaceship heading right towards Earth. Better tell someone. Yeah, so they try to get word to Tony Stark, who's also trying to get a team together to go out and infiltrate this thing because I guess it crashed in the Savage Lands. So we get to see some dinosaurs in this, along with all the other
Yeah.
Woohoo.
superheroes. Can't go wrong with some dinosaurs in your comics.
No devil dinosaurs, though.
No.
So we've got that going on. Then we've got these secret Avengers, which, as Amber alluded to, are, I guess, they're in trouble for something that I don't know what
Yeah.
happened, but they're in trouble for something. So we got like Spider-Man, Luke Cage, who's that? Echo,
Iron Fist, Wolverine, and
Iron Fist.
Ronin.
Yeah. So they're all hanging out somewhere, and they're like, "Well, we need to go take care of this, 'cause this is going to be bad. So let's go take care of this."
So who's Ronin again?
So that's Clint Barton, just like
Oh.
in the
Okay.
MCU.
Okay. I forgot what his name was. Okay, cool. I gotcha.
So everybody's heading out towards the Savage Lands to see what happened with this crashed spaceship, which they know it's a Skrull spaceship, but they just don't know what's inside. And they have some fun with some dinosaurs. I guess something's happening to Iron Man. Like something is affecting him as they're landing here and trying to find the spaceship. So you've got both teams, both the I guess Iron Man's team and the Secret Avengers in the Savage Lands now trying to track down the spaceship. And
This sounds familiar. Iron Man versus a team of law avoiding superheroes.
Yeah, and this does kind of fall somewhere in the timeline of the Civil War.
Oh.
So I don't know if this has anything to do with that. But you got a big face-off between the two teams trying to figure out what they're going to do. Nobody's sure what's in the spaceship yet. You've got other stuff happening all over the world, like the Sword space station is blowing up. We're going to see the helicarrier is hovering over New York, and it's starting to fall out of the sky.
Yeah.
We've got a couple bases that are being infiltrated by an alien virus. It says alien virus
detected.
You got a couple super jails for super bad people, like the Raft
Yeah.
and the Cube, and they're starting to go haywire. Thunderbolt Mountain, where the Thunderbolts team is, it's starting to get infiltrated by this alien virus. So all this is happening while we've got all these superhumans in the Savage Lands, and as they're doing their little face-off, we see possibly Jarvis push some buttons, says he loves you, and then Iron Man just starts going haywire. His suit starts,
Alien virus detected.
Yeah, starts weirding out, and so they're not sure if they should help him or get him to safety or get they want to get a helicarrier to come extract him, but of course it's having troubles. So all that's happening, and while all that's happening, we've got a nice tour group going through Baxter Building in New York, touring the Fantastic Four base. And in this tour group, we see one of the people in the tours, not the guy wearing the Stephen Colbert for President shirt, but
Wait,
I don't know if you noticed that.
I didn't. That's so funny.
But one of the people in the tour group shapeshifts into Invisible Girl, Sue Storm, and infiltrates.
Just walks upstairs.
Yep. Goes into the building, walks right past her kids without saying anything, and then gets into the super secret lab and starts pushing buttons. So that's not going to be good. And in fact, she like blows up or does something to the Baxter Building.
Yeah. She also says he loves you.
Loves you.
So we can see that that's a recurring theme. And then it all basically finishes off with going back to the Savage Land. The spaceship opens up, and who comes out?
Oh, are they old versions of all the superheroes, or are they just they're just the superheroes?
It's just a butt ton of superheroes.
Some of them look different, though.
That's a unit of measurement that the Skrulls use. Butt ton. Yeah, so we got just a who's who of Marvel superheroes popping out of this thing, including another Sue Storm.
She must be popular.
She's a fan favorite of the Skrulls.
Yeah. Who's behind her?
With the red glasses?
Is this supposed to be Cyclops?
I think that's Wonder Man.
Oh, okay. Because I was like wondering when Cyclops got like a chain.
So Wonder Man, he always had the red glasses on also because he's a movie star.
Oh.
Yeah, so we got all these superheroes popping out, and that can't be good news because it's almost like that meme with Spider-Man pointing to Spider-Man pointing to Spider-Man.
Well, it kind of is like that. There's two Spider-Mans.
Yeah. And then we finished out the whole thing with Mr. Fantastic saying, "Hey, I think I've figured out how we can make a device to identify, the Skrulls in hiding." And Hank Pym's like, "Oh, I bet you did," and he shoots him.
Yep.
And we see just a big spaghetti glob of Mr. Fantastic all over the lab.
He even loves you.
Yep. So, a good action-packed, star-packed issue that culminates in a good little cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So what more could you ask for?
7 more issues.
And this is...
And 50 on top of that.
And this is kind of important for how Marvel would make these type of issues. The issue number 1 on a series like this, they've got to put a lot of stuff in it, and they got to leave you hanging, or else you're not going to buy the other stuff.
Yeah. Keep them coming back.
So how... I know, Amber, you've seen some of the Secret Invasion on Disney Plus, right?
Yes, the first episode.
Without any spoilers, which of the storylines would you rather be put into a movie or TV show? This one or the one that's currently rolling out on the MCU?
Probably this one, because I don't like the political stuff as much. You know, like I didn't love Falcon and the Winter Soldier because it's like political and stuff. You know, like it's not as superhero. You know, it's like darker.
Right.
And I don't like that as much. But I understand why something like this comic would be really, really hard to make into a movie, because there's just like so many characters they need to add, and body doubles and stuff.
If you were to cast this many characters for a movie, TV series, or whatever, it's inevitable that one of them's going to get in trouble I don't know, stalking people or something, and then you're
Well,
gonna
that
have
didn't
to
stop one person from continuing to make a movie.
then you're gonna have to recast that person or cancel the movie or just
Or
put it
just
out.
run it.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so good story. Should we reread some more of this one?
I think
I'd
so.
like to, yeah. I'm staring at these long fingers. They're nasty. You see those
Oh,
fingers?
ew.
Mr. Fantastic's fingies. These
Oh,
fingies are
He's like
10 feet
spread
long.
everywhere.
You guys should read this comic just to look at his fingies. Ooh, and some got on Elektra.
Isn't his teeth? His teeth is there too.
Ew! Ew, nasty.
and apparently to figure out how to identify them and create whatever contraption he was going to create, they had to cut open Elektra's chest. So you can see
Yeah.
her like dissected in the background.
Yeah, her chest looks like a Demogorgon head.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, cool. This was a good little issue and good timely. I just happened to see it pop up on the in the Marvel Unlimited app of what's popular right now.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I guess the other. So that they say that the TV show is loosely based on this series.
On this one?
Yeah,
Oh.
loosely based, just probably on the concept of shape-shifting scrolls on Earth.
All right.
But I wonder if the other series that started last year might be a little bit closer.
Right, that's what I was thinking it might be.
But yeah, it's good to pop back and see some of this stuff that has obviously influenced,
Yeah.
modern storylines.
And I like this art style a lot. Like, something about this, like, mid-2000s comic book. It's just so fun to look at.
Yeah, I think they were in the transition period of being influenced by some of the technology that video games was kind of revolutionizing at the time. So I think they were taking some of what they learned by doing digital art and
Oh.
bringing it into the physical medium also, as far as like lighting and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, but they did have a good artist in this series also.
I bet it was fun for them to draw a bunch of different people.
Right.
That'd be so cool.
Fun and exhausting though.
True.
Yeah.
All those outfits to keep track of? Jeez.
Like, is this the guy that's got gray sideburns, or is the other guy the guy that has? Let's just put gray
Wait.
sideburns on everybody.
At least the scrolls all look the same.
Right. Well, cool. I think that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. Just wanted to touch base on a classic series that's influencing modern storylines, and this was definitely fit that bill.
Yeah.
So we thank you as always for listening to our podcast. Be sure to go out to wherever you find this and give us a little review. Let us know how we're doing. Check out our other socials. Check out our YouTube channel. And thank you as always for listening. Until next time, peace out.
Peace out and geek out.
Thank you for listening to the Family Geekery podcast. For more information, visit www.familygeekery.com. Don't forget to subscribe at your favorite podcast provider. And until next time, peace out and geek out.